has been a video I've been wanting to make in a long time, with something that's really dear to my heart when it comes to the gaming side of things, because I'm a big massive gamer. I've got my dogs as they appeared in the video. I wasn't expecting them to come in there. Maybe I should have shut the door on yours too. But with gaming, there's something I've always wanted to do, especially since I've been making content on YouTube, and that was I always wanted to do my own top 10 games. And there's a lot where I could have picked purely based on graphics, gameplay, stuff like that. There's a lot that didn't make my final 10. So honourable mentions before I start: Mass Effect trilogy, the Souls series, Dark Souls, including Demon, Gears, Borderlands. There's so many. Duke Nukem, as much as it's a laughing stock now, back in the day, Duke Nukem was the man. Back in my day, back in the 90s. So, I know there is one that I would give it props, because it did bring me the franchise, as much as the franchise is fucking horrendous now. I would still put Call of Duty 4 as in favourite games, no my top 10. Now, the way I've done my top 10, I've tried to keep it to one game per franchise, and the emotion level, why is this game in top 10, what did it do for me, stuff like that. I've tried my best picking. It was actually quite a hard decision, especially for the 10. Top 3 was easy. The top 3 were the easiest ones, but top 10, I had to have my reasons why picking them. Sad thing is, this is the second take at this video, because the camera I was using decided to cut off at the last 10 minutes of making the video. So when I got to number 1, it cut off, and I didn't realise, so I actually done the full number 1, and it didn't save. So now I'm doing it with my webcam, just using OBS just to record it. Then I know I can't, unless I have a power cut, I can't exactly lose my file. So, you staying in with me for the top 10, Tony? You staying in with me? No? You want to stay in the top 10? Right. So here we go. Top 10 games of all time. This is my list. Scott, I think number 1 and 2 would probably be the same with Scott. I don't know what way around, but I've got a funny feeling it'd be the same way as me. I haven't spoke to him on this one, so this is a bit strange, no working with Scott on this one. Usually me and him will talk about things like this, but I know the top 2 for him would be the exact same, and the exact same reasons. So here we go. Number 10 for my top 10 entry, Halo 1. Halo, to me, was the whole reason I bought an Xbox back in the day when Xbox first came out, and it was the whole reason why I got a 360 for Halo 3, and again an Xbox One, as much as I don't use it, for Halo 5. Now, down the series grew and grew from its innovations in the first person shooter market, and one of the things that drew me to this game was obviously 1, story, 2, gameplay, because it was like the first time we got a game where the recharge health, stuff like that, was brand new to the franchise. Usually it was just you had to go and pick up health packs, stuff like that. But Halo blew my mind, especially split screen multiplayer. I was a bit late to online multiplayer. I only tried it at Halo 3. I've heard numerous times Halo 2 was the best for it. Pity I missed out on it, but 4-player co-op, split screen, that was so many fun nights. Like me, Scott, Martin had, just playing this on some of the maps, trying to snipe each other, always a great laugh. Yeah, top 10 starts with Halo. What can you say it's not been said about it with Master Chief and Cortana? You'd be here all day. So, Halo, number 10. At number 9, again, I'm going with like the rule for one per franchise, and to me, this one trumps the fourth one and what it's meant to do with the name. Now, with the franchise, the first 3 set out, done exactly what you knew it was going to do. 4 changed it for the better. 5, 6, less said the better. 7 looks fantastic what they're doing. So you know what I've picked. But what won in the first 3, and it's Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2 was the defining zombie game at the time. To me, it's still the best zombie game made. Now it's just flooded the market. You get so many like spin-offs with the zombies in it. It's the franchise has got so boring that it's laughable with some of the games. But back in the day when this hit Resident Evil 2, it just, wow, survival horror at its best. The story, the way the 2 discs worked with each other, with Leon and Claire, sorry, I know I got it right the first time probably. I'll leave it in. So Leon and Claire, depending on what you've done and what disc you started with, changed the other disc, which was brilliant, absolutely fantastic. And still to this day, I could put this in and play it, love it, and there's no other zombie game, in my opinion, that can touch this. I mean, you can look at graphics and go, oh, but the graphics are better. But what one would you more have fun out of? Being scared at this because there's the lickers clicking about, but you've only got 5 handgun bullets and a knife? Rest my case. Number 8 was... it had to be on the list because obviously if you look at the channel with like her symbol and some of the memorabilia like me and Scott's collected now for it, it had to be on the list. And it did change for me. It changed the way I looked at what I expect out of these style of games. People might say some other games done it better. They've got their points, but the way emotionally the game left you, like you're there yourself until you have to do certain things in the game, and just the vastness of loneliness, like I said, you got. Fallout 3. Now, New Vegas could have took this spot for me, but again, I've got to go back to the emotion. When I first seen the videos of this game, this is right off when I was like a fan of Oblivion, where I'd spend hours in Oblivion, I mean hours, and when I seen Fallout 3 and like the narrative it was going in the Capital Wasteland and how you were lost and what you had to do, and like seeing a Deathclaw for the first time when you've hardly got any weapons was truly terrifying, and it was just magical. That's the only way I can describe that. It is just absolutely fantastic. Happy I've went back now and I've got the anthology. I've managed to try the other Fallout games. Fallout 4 for me was still my game of the year last year. A lot of people might not agree with that, but it had its moments why. And like the last, say this year alone, and last year there's not really been like big releases where I've went wow. Dark Souls 3 I think was the last one, and that was April, where I went wow at a game. But Fallout 3 brought me to the franchise, made me fall in love with sort of the post nuclear apocalyptic wasteland style, and hopefully with the rumours about Fallout New Orleans, hopefully something comes about it. I do like my spin-offs. Usually the spin-offs have been brilliant. New Vegas was fantastic. They changed some of the gameplay and made it better. You've got to love Bethesda glitches. It's not a Bethesda game without its glitches. And yeah, if you've never played Fallout 3, if you've tried 4 and you'd like to see what it was like, and you don't have access to like a PC for the anthology, but you have like a 360 or PS3, or even in the Xbox One where it's backwards compatible, try Fallout 3. Totally recommend it. So, moving on to number 7, and again, this one was really easy to pick out of the franchise, so easy to pick, and it was purely because of like the nostalgia factor I love within movies, music, and certain things, and it was just mind blowing at the time, and it's got to be Grand Theft Auto Vice City. And to me this is my favourite Grand Theft Auto game, compared to like say what people say San Andreas, 5, I'm not putting 4 in the bracket, 4 was iffy, but when this one hit with the changes that made with likes of the cast, the way you had to spend your money, grow an empire, the music was absolutely phenomenal. It is one of the best gaming soundtracks ever. Waiting for Tony to ruin the video. Always waiting for him to ruin the video. So that's Tony ruined part of the video. So we continue where we are. So yeah, with likes of the story, the graphics at the time, gameplay was clunky. It wasn't perfect, but back in the day it felt perfect. Now when you try on like say when you can download it in the PlayStation Network or Steam or something like that, the controls aren't as tight as what you probably feel in Grand Theft Auto 5 where it's smooth. But back in the day this was it. This was amazing. I could play this for hours, just sit, listen to the music, drive about. Again, the soundtrack was one of the major reasons it's like on my phone. I listened to it when I was working. I'd probably listen to it when I'm going to edit this video as well. Yeah, so if you've played like the 5, you love the games, and you'd like to see what it was like for the franchise when it was becoming what it is, check out Vice City. Number 6. Number 6, I have a gripe with the big name like gaming like channels, stuff like that, like IGN, things like that, who rate their games based on they've got to be perfect. I can understand why games need to be perfect, especially in today's market, especially the way the industries went now. But sometimes you look at them and you go, you've just been paid for that game company not to give this game mediocre reviews. There's so many games out there that it's been done like that, and you look at them and go, what the fuck? One game where they totally destroyed, I think it was 3 out of 10. This game became a cult phenomenon. Got remade in the PlayStation 3 and PC in the director's cut. By far one of the best storylines I've played, and this was out in the year, if I remember, I think Modern Warfare 3 was out. I can't remember what year it was. I think it was the year Modern Warfare 3. And usually, like, say, I like my multiplayer COD games. I always look forward to them when they come out. Not the last wee while. The last wee while's been pretty shit. But when you look at what this game done with the story, was unbelievable. How it had you guessing. The gameplay was okay. It was a bit Resident Evil, Silent Hill style. Very Twin Peaks. So that's kind of gave it away now, if you know what I'm talking about. Is Deadly Premonition. Deadly Premonition ticks a lot of boxes I look for in a game. When I want to be immersed in the character, where I can get hours of enjoyment, try to figure out, well, who's done what, who's done this, because you're trying to guess who's been doing murders. It is basically a rip-off of Twin Peaks, but it's done so cheesy, it is amazing, totally fantastic. With the likes of the gameplay and the story, how it's combined. A lot of people might look at it and go, what the fuck? But this game has spawned so many fans on this game that we'll defend it to the hills, with negative scores and stuff like that. It's like, go out and try it. Don't be a sheep and look at scores and go, oh fuck, that's 3 out of 10. Try it. At least try to watch gameplay videos of it. The Super Best Friends done a full LP of it. I know they didn't do the side missions, I think, but they done a full LP of like the main story, and you've got to check it out. Absolutely brilliant. Number 5 is to me, the last of the great horror games. I think the way the horror genre is now in gaming, it's just all about jump scares, especially with like some of the videos, like I've made one on YouTube. It's just like, right, that instant scare. But back when this hit, this brought an amazing storyline, amazing graphics. Music is phenomenal, and it did bring a lot of fans to that franchise as well. I was a fan from day one, from the first game. Now it's completely different. We had 2 mediocre games. We got PT, which, and it's a sad news, obviously we know it's not happening with Konami. So you know what game it is, which is Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2 to me is the last great horror game, with the story, the way it twists and turns, the monsters, the sound, the lonely atmosphere walking around Silent Hill, and you're guessing about what's going to happen in the game, and then it bitch slaps you right at the end, with a shock twist ending. It's like, what the fuck? With these games, I'm not really going into spoilers. They're old enough now, you can easily get them. If you've played them, you've played them. If you haven't, and you like to watch playthroughs, check them out. I won't spoil anything. But yeah, that was the last great horror game I've played. Silent Hill 4 is probably one of my favourites in the franchise. A lot of people don't class it as the Silent Hill game. They changed it up, but again, it was the atmosphere. But when you look at the storyline of 2 and how 2 looked at the time, especially, this was basically, I think, one of the early PlayStation 2 games. I don't think it was. I think the PlayStation 2 was out here in September, and this came not long after, if I remember right. It was early in the life cycle, within a year of the life cycle, and wow, that was a sole reason to get that machine. Sole reason, if you loved your horror games. To this day, people still regard the music as the best you'll ever hear in a game. Yeah, I can agree with that. Again, like Vice City, I've got like the soundtrack on my phone, easily pop it in, listen to, so relaxing. As soon as you hear a theme, you know exactly where it was in the game, and how you felt playing it, the like the loneliness of walking around Silent Hill, stuff like that. top notch. So yeah, Silent Hill, number 5. Number 4, I had to pick this version in the franchise because that was the one I loved more. I know the one before it is Halo, is one of the greatest games of all time. I'm not going to question that. But it made me rush out and buy a GameCube. I love the graphics, I love the music. It's probably the only Zelda game that I went full 100%, and that's the Wind Waker. Loved the cartoony graphics, loved how it was seamlessly going between islands with hardly any load times, the extra stuff you got to find, taking pictures with the camera when you upgrade it to make statues, the dungeons, so many things I loved about this game. And like I said, it was the whole reason I rushed out and bought a GameCube. Now this is, I've still actually got my receipt in it. When I bought it, 2003 I bought this. I can hear somebody cutting their grass, so if you can pick up my audio, I'm sorry. And this one came with the Ocarina of Time as well, so I did manage to get Ocarina of Time. I've now obviously got an N64 with Ocarina of Time, but that was my version of Ocarina. But when I look at a Zelda game, Wind Waker was just brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Not one of the ones a lot of people regard in the franchise as like one of the best, but when I look at it and how I felt playing it and why, the reasons, like I said, that I rushed out and bought that machine, I would never have bought that machine regardless, probably, but Wind Waker done it for me. So it's in at number 4 in top 10. Let's go to number 3. And with number 3, I don't think this game needs any introductions. It's been given so much praise since it was created, well over 20 years now, and you know what it is, and it's the daddy of first person shooting, and that is Doom. Doom, what can be said about Doom, it's not been said about Doom. I remember the first time I played it, I get told, oh, you've got to check this game out, you get a gun, you've got to shoot monsters, and it's like total hardcore, and I was like, oh, right, okay, I'll try it. As soon as you heard that music, and then you get your pistol, go into your left, shoot the guy, get a shotgun, and you can go and get the hidden items out in the yard, or go through straight on, take out the other zombies with the shotgun. Wow, just absolutely brilliant. Obviously with Doom 2 they changed up the levels a bit, brought in the double barrel shotgun, which is now legendary in the franchise, and all the weapons like the BFG 9000, the rocket launcher, the Gatling gun, chainsaw, so many things, but they never really made a difference to the gameplay, like say Ultimate Doom, Final Doom, Doom 2, Doom, stuff like that. Doom 3 to me was the letdown, because they solely based it on graphics. I think they forgot quite a lot of the reason why we grasped Doom. But with that, at number 3, I'm also putting, it's my list, I can do what I want, Doom 2016, which is basically a reboot of that, and they got it bang on. And a gaming market flooded with first person shooters, they went back to basics, with no recharge health, no hide behind corners because they'll come and get you, and you have to hunt for stuff, and fast, frantic gameplay made Doom 2016 absolutely mind-blowing. Probably, if it wasn't for the fact that I grew up on Doom, that would be my favourite Doom, but I grew up in the originals, so Doom 2016 has its place next to Doom because it brought back all the feelings I had when I played the original, when I was young. And I'm going back, I was only about 7 when I played it, so I'm 31 now, so that shows you how long ago when I got introduced to it. And still to this day, even on like PC, if I like play the original Doom, I could easily play that over any Call of Duty all the time. It is just so much fun to play. Number 2, I had to look at emotional levels. I had to really spend time thinking about this one, and the reason I did was because I had to look at why at number 1, why was number 1 number 1, and why it trumped this one. And there was a lot more reasons, so that's why, but it was really close. At number 2, I was a bit late to the franchise. I think it was already out for a year before I got into it, and it was my friend Martin introduced me to the franchise. All he had to do is show me one thing, and that was me hooked. And then later, when I finally got it and playing it, going through everything you had to do, I became a massive fan of the franchise. I would pre-order the new one, go out and get it in day release. Now I've been burned so many times with games like that, especially in that franchise, especially for the last 3. I genuinely think the franchise had its heyday when it stopped in the PlayStation 1. A lot of people say no, they say PlayStation 2, but no, to me, 9 was the last best one I played, but 9's not at number 2. Number 7, Final Fantasy 7, to me was one of the main players that introduced me to RPG games. Storyline, characters, graphics, music, the way the summons worked, brilliant. And the fact that now it's coming back out and I've seen people cry at sheer tears of joy. This is what this game done to people on an emotional level. I was the same. I absolutely loved it. When it came back to PlayStation 4, just the HD reboot of this, remake, sorry. But when I say it's a remake, it's basically this PC game ported for the PC game, sorry, ported to PlayStation 4. Again, like, don't care if I'm skint on buying it. And still same emotions again, playing it, still fantastic. Got my brother into the franchise, playing this game, he loved it. So yeah, there's like so many reasons why, and the fact it was so long, it was totally different. It was like one of the first games I played where you're going past the 30-hour mark playing a game and you're not even done maybe this too. I mean, that's legendary. Nowadays, there's not a lot of games that can do that for me. I think the Skyrim, the Bethesda games can do it. But back in the day, when Squaresoft couldn't be touched, Final Fantasy was the place to be. Now, number 1, emotional levels made this one number 1. And the reasons for was because when they announced the second one, it made me buy a PlayStation 2. I've always looked forward to the next instalment. Not now, I've got my reasons, but back in the day when I first heard about this was August 1998. I got one of the PlayStation magazines and flicking through, seeing this artwork of a soldier going up against a big robot. And I was like, well, what the fuck's this? You know what I mean? Wow, what's this? Reading more into it, how it was out before the PlayStation, and I was like, I've never heard of this game. Obviously the European version and the US version was, people call it a bootstrap port, but I still never played it yet. I never tried the game. So when the demo disc came down of this game, it was mind blowing. Some of the stuff I was playing, graphics, introducing you to some of the story elements and the way how it's going to work. Like you're watching a movie, but you're playing it, not like a CD-ROM type like you got on the PC at the time, with the really bad like CD-ROM games you got. But this was like full blown. This could be a movie. We've always hoped for a movie. I remember a couple of years ago there was saying there was production of one, but no, this done it for me. Like I said, it made me rush out and buy a PlayStation 2 purely for the demo of the second game because it came with Zone of the Enders. So you know what it is Metal Gear Solid 1. By far my favourite game of all time, with production levels, the voice acting, the music, the way the story builds itself up. You know what you're going to get to at the final bit. You know you've got to fight Metal Gear Rex, but how it builds it to it, and then the final battle between Snake and Liquid, plus the endings. Do you sacrifice one to save another? Stuff like that. Absolutely amazing. This is when, like, in my opinion, the likes of Silent Hill 1 not long after this, like, Konami couldn't have been touched. Now they're just a laughing stock. But back in the day, Konami were the badasses of gaming. And it's such a shame that now we're in a stage where we're getting a Metal Gear Solid game that isn't headed by Kojima, a zombie survival game. I am not interested in that. I like my stealth. Metal Gear Solid 1 done it perfect. Like I said, with the story, some of the things you had to do, and like I said, you're watching a movie, and it was a brilliant movie. And this game introduced, like, the PlayStation to a lot of people that were never into weren't gamers and weren't into games, but when they seen this and what this game was doing, they're like, wow, I've got to try that. And then they fell in love with gaming and fell in love with the franchise, and still love the franchise till this day, from 1999. That's still my original copy when I got it. All of them are original copies. I think Vice City is the only one that's not, because I had to get a new version because my disc got destroyed. But everything there is like the copies I got when I got them, and that's what makes me a gamer. Is I look for, like, stuff like that, and why I hold my top 10, like, get what games do emotionally for you. Not like today where it's all microtransactions, DLC, stuff like that. I just prefer that back in the good old days where you just picked a game, you put the disc in, you sat back and enjoy. And I'm actually starting to be more like that now. I've actually went back the way how I'm playing games now, especially on PC, even on my PlayStation 4. I'm playing a lot more single player games, just enjoying gaming for what it was compared to where it is, the market it is now, with money. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I say, looking more into like my top 10, and Dark Souls videos are in production. Number 11 should be soon. Hopefully try to get at least 10 out within the next week or so, next week or 2 weeks, and maybe do another top 10 down the line again. This is something I wanted to do for a long time, especially since I've started the channel. I mean, I think that's 2009 I started the channel, or 10, I can't remember, and it's something I've really wanted to do, but I never really had. I had all the games were all there, apart from Deadly Premonition and Doom 2016, but it's something I had to really think about. You just can't pick your top 10, and you have to, if your top 10's got to be like consistent throughout all the years. Doom 2016 got in it alongside Doom because it is basically a reboot of Doom, and they've done it so good. It's hard to not have one without the other. And with the way the channel's been going, especially like doing the Let's Play, which I'm enjoying so much more than back in the old days where it was I tried to do a script, tried to make a video, tried to edit it with a PVR. Some of the technology is great for some's great, not so great, and obviously it's time-based factor, and it's a lot easier just doing what's on your PC with OBS and showcasing stuff like that. So it's building up a library of games on PC. So like I've got more on PC where it's easier to make content. I can get content out faster, and it's so enjoyable to make again. And that I have missed, especially like some of the videos I've been watching on YouTube. A lot of people's had great arguments about the way YouTube's been going, and I just still do it for the hobby. I still do it for the love of making videos. Something that I never thought I'd get into, and I still enjoy actually doing it to this day. Just doing stuff like this. Just hope you enjoy it. That's it. It's just that's what this is all about. It's just we do this for enjoyment and help each other out as a community. So hope you liked it anyhow. I hope that gives you a wee more insight into what type of games I like. I'm very vast in like types of games. And enjoy the video, leave us a like, leave us a sub. Also check us out on Facebook at The Gaming Vault, Twitter at Gaming Vault 343, and we'll see you next time in the Dark Souls videos. Thanks.